FLEXBOX. FLEXBOX is one of the major tools used to achieve responsive design. Responsive design. You can see here FLEXBOX. Then we have the grid, the media query, then the external frameworks like Bootstrap. I'm not going to. We are not going to cover Bootstrap in this class. I will leave that for you to go and make research on. But I will talk extensively on FLEXBOX and grid. The reason why I'm going to spend time on those two is that the two form the basis for any external framework like Bootstrap. Then I will talk on media queries. As you can see from here, this is media query. Media query is just going to tell you that at certain screen size, this is the style sheet I want you to apply. So let's dive into FLEXBOX. Now, when we talk about FLEXBOX, there are two main axes I want you to always have at the back of your mind, depending on the direction of the FLEXBOX. If the direction is row, so that means your items are lined up in a row like so. The x-axis, which is the horizontal axis, is called the main axis. And the vertical direction is called the cross axis. Cross. I will keep on mentioning these two axes as I go on in the course. So if the flex direction, if the direction is row, I'm repeating myself. The main axis is this direction, and this will be the cross axis. However, if the direction is column, so meaning that the items are arranged in a vertical manner, like so. This is your main axis. Then this will be your cross axis. So it all depends on this direction. Column direction, this is the main. Then the horizontal will be the cross axis. Row direction, this is the main. Then this is the cross axis. Is there any question on that?
Yes, sir. Sir, can you go back? You said depending on the direction, whether it's row
Yes.
or crosses. Can you
Whether it's row or column.
You're correct.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand what you mean.
Okay. When the direction of your items can be anything within the container. Let's say, for example, I have a container like so. Let me go back to the now look at this container. This is container. I want all of you to analyze this HTML. I'm going to ask question on this. Look at the HTML structure. I'm giving you a few seconds.
Which one?
The HTML.
Okay.
HTML. By now, you should know what HTML is. So look at the HTML for the next few seconds. I'm going to ask you a question on that. Okay. Joshua,
Yes, sir.
tell me the wrapping HTML element within the body element. Which element is wrapping other elements within the body element?
The which element is the container.
Container is not an element.
Oh, okay. Which one is wrapping around the other elements?
I'm going to write the question on the board so that it will be clear. My question is which? Element within the body element
Mm.
that is wrapping other elements.
Oh, the div element.
The div element. Okay, the div element. Now I want Emmanuel. So tell me the fifth child. Tell me the identity of the fifth child element to that div element.
That would be gallery with class orange.
Gallery
With
is
class
not an element.
Oh, the paragraph
The P element
with
with
class orange.
with the class of orange. That is the answer. I'm asking this question so that just to test your understanding on how you use the right jargon. Initially, Joshua said container. Container is not an element. Container is a value for the class attribute of an element. Now, Emmanuel said gallery. Gallery is not an element. It is the text content of the P element with class of orange. So I want you all to learn how to use the right jargon because that is the only way you can help yourself. Now, having clarified that ground, you can see that I have the wrapper element, which is a div. So this is the div. Any element can be a wrapper element, but I'm telling you, I can say with all assurance that this body element is also a wrapper element, wrapping up the div. And one other thing is wrapping up the body element. Who can tell me that? What is wrapping up everything up?
HTML.
Thank you, the HTML. The HTML. And up here we have the head, this head. We have it around there. There's no space for me to draw it properly. Now, but I am interested in this div container. Why am I interested? Because that is where I have the items. I have P items. I have these items. Remember that P element is what? A block level element. So it will stretch from one end to the other. So I have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Like so. So if I want to apply FLEXBOX to this div, so this div will be my container. And this P element will be the container items. Sorry, the flex items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, let me clear what I just described now. I'm going to clean up this. I want to clean up everything as if I'm starting anew. And what I'm going to do now is that I want to give each of these a background according to their class name. So I will do .red background color of red.
So I have a question.
Okay, what's the question?
What's the difference between using a div ID and a div class?
A div ID and a div class.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to understand that question. Are you saying that you want to do something like a div, then you want to give it an ID of
Yeah.
div and a class of div? Is this your question?
Yeah, my question is that do they both do the same thing? Like if you replace the class you wrote there with ID, would it still do the same thing?
Yes, it will still do the same thing. Yes, I can do ID equal container here. Yes, it's still the same thing.
Okay.
Yes, but remember what I told you many classes backward. It's this is a personal judgment. It's my own call, your judgment call. When I'm talking about styling, I always prefer using classes to IDs. But when it comes to JavaScript, then I'm going to use my ID in JavaScript. It's just a personal way of organizing my code. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, so I repeat, you can do ID here and put it as container. Right? You can do that. There's no law that is stopping you from doing that. But like I said, I try to separate concerns. With time, as you grow, you will understand what I'm talking about. Separation of concerns is very, very important in architecture, in programming architecture. All right. So now I'm trying to give each of these a background so that, okay, let me just do, okay, I can't do a general piece, so I just have to give it each of them their colors. How many? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to do blue, right? Oh, it's capital R. Then B. Did I delete? Oh, I've deleted something here. Blue. Then I do blue here. And this is yellow. And I do yellow there. And this is indigo. Indigo there. Orange. Orange right there. Then violet. Violet right there. Let's preview what we just did now. Now, this is the normal behavior of the elements. Am I right or wrong? I want an answer. Joshua, am I right? Right? Is this the normal behavior of elements within the HTML structure?
No.
You said
Yes, sir.
yes. Who answered yes now?
It's Israel.
Israel. Okay. So this is a normal
It's Israel.
behavior. Yeah, I've gotten that. This is a normal flow of elements. You can see that I've not applied anything called positioning or flexbox. I only added the backgrounds just for us to differentiate one element from the other. And you know this is a P element. P element is a block level element. It will take the whole width from left to the far right. And it will now flow after each or other. That is a normal behavior of elements. Now, like I said, if I now take this div as a flex container, the moment I take this div with a class container as a flex container, then that simply means that I'm taking all the P elements within it, which are children to the div, I'm taking them as flex items. Now, if I take this container dot container, and for me to make that container a flex box, I need to change the property display, the display property. I will need to change it to flex. Remember that the display can be either block level, inline, or inline block, and even at times it can be table. It has so many values. Let me see whether it will give me the options. Now look at the possible values you can have for the display property. You can have a block, content, FLEXBOX itself, flow root, grid, inline block, inline FLEXBOX, inline table, list item. But what we are interested in now is flex. Now, let's see what happens. Can you see what happened to our items? Everything has been turned into something like an inline element and is given a width that is enough for the content. You can see the width that is enough to occupy logo, the width that is enough to occupy home, the width enough to occupy about, and so on to gallery. So that simply means that the content, the text content within each of the flex item determines the minimum width for that element right there. Now, by default, the direction, the flex direction is row default. I'm talking about the default behavior. By default, the direction is row. You can see I did not apply any direction yet, but already you can see that is in a row form. If you look at one of the properties of the flex container, you will see flex direction. We are still going to talk about this flex direction. This flex direction here, we are still going to talk about it. When we want to specifically state that, okay, we don't want the direction to be in the row, but we want it to be in the column. Now, as I said, by default, it is in the row direction. And because it is in the items, these items right here within the container, because it is arranged in the row direction, then the main axis in this is in this direction. This is your main axis. Main axis. Then if this is your main axis, automatically your cross is in that direction. Is there any question on this before I move forward? Joshua.
No.
Okay. Now, I'm going to change the direction. Now, I want you to note where I am typing the properties. I'm talking about flex container now, this flex container. So All these properties, display, flex, direction, flex wrap, flex flow, justify content, align items, align content, you can only use them within the container. So now I'm going to change the direction. The direction from the defaults of row to column. So flex direction. I'm going to change it to column. And let's see what happens. Now, you can see now that the items are now arranged vertically. Now, in this case now, the main axis is in this direction. This is your main axis. Then automatically, this is your cross axis. Is there any question on that?
No, sir.
Okay, Joshua.
Can I see the code again? Okay.
So is there any question?
No.
Okay. Now I'm going to return it back to row so that we talk more about that. Now, the good thing, or let me say the powerful feature, one of the powerful features of FLEXBOX is the ease with which you can align the items, either center, horizontally, and also maybe, for example, let's say you have a page like this and you want to center an item right there. You can easily do that with FLEXBOX. Now, I'm going to go back to the code now. I will comment out the other P element just for us to see how easy I can center this flex item right at the center here. Now, there's something called the justify content. Let's go back to the right up. Justify content. This justify content allows me to easily align items on the main axis. Now, because I'm talking about row now, this is the flex direction row. So the main axis is the horizontal direction. So if I use justify content center, you will see this item coming to somewhere around this place. Justify content center. You can see easily it comes right to the center. Now, the next question you'll be asking yourself now is that, okay, how can I push this in right to the center here? Okay, for me to do that, to achieve that, I need to give my container a dimension. What do I mean by dimension? I need to specify the height. Automatically the container has occupied the width of the viewport. but I need to specify the height also. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to say container. Yes, although you have your width, but I'm still going to give you a width of 100% viewport width. Then I'm going to give you the height of 100% of viewport height. Now you can see what is going on there. Now, for me to align that item vertically to be vertically centered, there's a property called align item. Now, while this justify content aligns item on the main axis, these align items on the cross axis. So if I go back to the code and I say align items center, let's see what happens. You can see right is now at the center of my page. So easy. Unlike relative positioning, absolute positioning that I will still need to be calculated. Okay, how many pixels from the top to this place, how many pixels from the right to this place, or from here to this place. I do not need all those stuffs any longer. Just by specifying the justify content and align items. I want to repeat. Justify content. I'm going to write it out. Justify content aligns items along the main axis. Align items along the cross axis. Joshua, do you have any question?
No, but I used a line item before in my code. I mean, in the homework.
In the homework.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the homework now.
Yeah, no.
I'm teaching you FLEXBOX. We'll discuss homework later. So is there any question on what I've just explained, FLEXBOX?
No, sir.
Okay. So I move on. So now, before I go to this or to flex wrap, flex flow, and align content, I'm now going to put back, because now I've explained what display is, what flex direction is. I've explained what justify content is, align items, but I still need to talk more on these two especially. And the reason for that is that I'm going to put in back what I commented out before. And I'm going to remove this align item first, because I don't want to cause confusion. I want you to see the effect one after the other. But first of all, I'm going to remove this one too. So we have the flex direction of row, right? And let's see what we have on the board. Now, this is what we have. And the next question that may be bothering you is that why is this thing extending from the top down to the bottom here? Is because we specify the height for it. If I comment out that height, you will see it will return back to as if it is inline. So I will come back to the height because I only included the height because I wanted to demonstrate how you can center things vertically at the to the center. So let's talk about justify content a little more. So now, if I apply justify content now again, and I say center, you see everything going to the center. Now, justify content has other values. You can see flex start, flex end, center. I have used this one now for some time. And you have space between, space around, and space evenly. Right? So let's see what is flex start. I'm going to remove the center again. Now, this is the starting point. Let me just comment it out. This is a starting point of your element. And this is the flex start. By default, the justify content is default to flex start. If I include flex start here, you will see that nothing is going to change, as you can see, because that is the default value. Now, if I change this to flex end, you will see everything going to the right hand side. Right hand side. But I want you to note something. The items are in their right order. What do I mean? You can see that logo came first, then followed by home, about, services, gallery, and contact. That is how each of the items followed each other. Now, there is another value of this flex direction. If I say row reversed, you can see that I'm doing what? Okay, let me remove this, the justify content, so that you see what row reverse is actually is. You can see now that instead of starting from here, it moved to it's like reversing the starting point to the end. And at the same time, look at the arrangement of the flex items. The logo is now starting from here, then the home, the about, and so on to the contact. But remember, if it is just row, it will start from your left and in the right order. Take it back to reverse. You will see that everything is reversed. And in the row reversed proper state, this is the flex start for that row reverse. But if it is just row, this will be your flex start. I'm trying to explain so that you won't get confused. I repeat, if the value of the direction is just row, this will be your flex start. And the items are arranged in their normal flow order. But if the flex direction is row reverse, it will reverse to the right hand side, and at the same time, the items will be reversed. Instead of having logo here, you have logo here, then backward. And this is now your flex start. Now, if I uncomment this justify content to flex end, you will now see the item going to the left, but it is still reversed in terms of the arrangement of the item. Is there any question in this?
No, sir.
Joshua?
Can I see a code again once more?
Okay.
Mm,
Is there any question now?
no.
Okay. So let's move on. So now, Emmanuel, do you have any question?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's go on. Israel, no question too? I thought I heard a female voice some minutes back. So we have all male class today. All right, no problem. I will share the video the recordings. So now, let me take it back to row. And I'm going to change this back to flex to the default, which is the flex start. So now, if you want space in between these items, all you need to do is to indicate space between. Remember, we are still talking about justify content. And because the row, the direction is row, the main axis is horizontal. So you can see that I can have I have space in between the items. Now, if I give it another value, which is space around, there will be space around it. But one thing you will observe is that the space in between the items is twice the space at the end, at this end. It is done by design. It will calculate. So it will calculate the space, the total space left, and ensures that there is equal space in between the items, and that space in between the item is now divided into two and allocated to this right hand side and the left hand side. Mary is back. Now, going further to space evenly. Space evenly, we create equal space are all around and in between the items. Space evenly. You can see equal space in between and around the items. Is there any question? No question.
No, sir.
Okay. Now, let's say I want, okay, now we'll be going to the flex item, which I do not want to go. Okay, I will need to go into that anyway. So now, let's say I just want to change the order of these items. You know, by default, everything is flowing, right? One after the other, logo, home, and so on and so forth. When the flow direction is row, let's say I want to move, let's say about to the end. I want it to go to the end without me touching my HTML structure. How do I do it? And that you can find using the order. And why is this blocking me? The flex item, because now I'm trying to change one particular item, and that is why I'm going to flex item now. This property is on that item. Take for example, this item, I want to move about that single item. I want to move it to the last, but I do not want to change this structure. I'm not going to change anything here. Changing, I mean that I'm not going to take this out and paste at the last. I won't do that. Without me restructuring my HTML, all I need to do is I will target this about, which has a class of yellow, which is right here already, and I will give it all the order of maybe 2, and you will see it flying to the end. You can see about right there. You can see it there. Without me changing the structure of my HTML, I have been able to move it to the end. I think every item has an order level of 1. Let me test that. I think it is either 0 or 1. If I make this 1, let me see whether it will change position. Okay, so that means that the default is 0, because even ordinary 1, I can see it there. But if I change it back to 0, which means that there's no order, it will go back to the normal position, which is here, about right there. So the order level of every item is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And because everything, the order is 0, they will now follow what I have in my HTML in that order. But if I want a particular one to be moved, for example, I want to move logo now to the end, to the last, I will change the order for that logo to 1, like so. You can see my logo here, right? Now, excuse me. Remember I said that everything is 0, 0, 0, 0, order 0, but now this one is having order 1. Now, let's say I want this, what was the service to go to be in between contact and logo, in between contact and logo. What I will do is that, remember that this one is presently 1, and this one is presently 0, order 0. So I will change this one to 1, but this guy will now come here. Why? Because logo is right in the first position of the HTML right here. But that is not that is not my desire. My desire is that I want this service to be here. So what I will do is that I will change this service to 1, then I will change the order for this to be 2. So by doing that, this guy will now move here, because remember, orders are still 0, 0, 0, and 0. So this one now is higher than 0. It will now come here. And this one, because it's now 2, it will remain where it is. So let's practicalize and see. Let me clean the board. So go back to the code. I want services. The services is what? Indigo. Indigo is right there, and I do order of what? What am I typing? Order of 1. Then I'm going back to the logo there and change it to 2. 2. And you see now I have my services right where I want it to be, and my logo still where I want it to be. Is there any question?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So our time is almost done. So I'm going to round up with align self, which is also a flex item property, this one. So remember that I can align each of the item the way I want it. Okay, let me remove the order from this code. I'm going to delete this one out, delete this one out, and delete this one out. So everything is back to normal. So let's say I want to move this about maybe to somewhere here. So I will do align self. Let's say about, right? About is yellow. So I will do align self, align self. Now I can do center flex end, but let me do flex end to push it down to the end. Remember that align is on the cross axis, but I'm afraid that there won't be any change, because let me see whether there's going to change, because I did not specify the height yet. You can see no change whatsoever. But if I specify the height, let me remove the comment out of that height, you will see it now coming down here, whereas the other items are still up there, but about is now at the bottom here. If I can give it what center, right? To center just that item right at that location. Is there any question?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to stop here today for me to view your assignment. All right, since in the absence of question, I think it is safe now to stop here. We will continue from where we stop. Now, I'm going to call on Joshua. Joshua, did you do the assignment? Yes or no answer?
Yes.
Okay, good. Israel, did you do the assignment? Israel, did you do the assignment? You are mute if you are talking, Israel. Oh, Israel, you are mute if you are talking. Ademola, yes, I know you submitted last week, but you didn't complete it. So have you completed it now, Ademola?
No, sir. I couldn't do it this
You
week.
you couldn't. Okay. Um, Mary,
Yes, sir.
did you do the assignment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Emmanuel, were you able to complete it in the
Yes, sir.
shortest possible time?
Yes, I finished it.
Okay. All right. So I'm starting with Joshua. Joshua, I'm making you the host now.
Okay.
So share your screen, please.
Um, yes. So I can see my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen. First, just hold on. Let me understand your structure first. Just hold on. Ed. Where is the closing tag for body, Joshua?
Body. So
Where's the closing tag for body? Where's the closing tag for HTML? At this stage, I should not be asking this or correcting this. This is level 1. In fact, level 0. Ah. Okay, run your code. Let me see. On the browser.
I had struggles with doing the writing. I just need to this.
Can you close this preview and run it on the browser? I want to see it on the browser.
It won't work if I.
Why won't it work?
It will show a different thing, I think. Oh,
Okay, this is what I want to confirm. Your image is not done properly. Okay, let me take control out away from you. I think I have shown you that this is possible by showing you my code. No, I didn't show you my code. I only showed you my output. Open folder, assignment. This one. This is it, right? This is what I'm talking about. Even if I minimize, apart from this, right, like I explained in the video, apart from that one, you look at this content. You will see that it stays right to the left hand side of this C cube. No matter how small, you can see it's still it's still on the left hand side to this C cube. So, Joshua, you still have to rework your homework. If I teach you, it's like I'm spoon feeding you. I want you to exercise your brain. I've taught you guys everything you need to know, the skill set to achieve this. This is just a web page that is so simple, right? So I'm going to give control to another person. Let me see what Emmanuel did.
Okay, sir.
So Emmanuel, I'm giving you control now.
Okay, sir.
So please share your screen.
Yes, sir. So this is the code. This is the code. This is the style sheets. And this is the overall output.
No, this is not what I shared. I did not give you this image.
I I didn't find the image in the folder because when I came to the assignment folder,
Can you go to the WhatsApp group?
okay, all right.
Now scroll to where I
Oh,
shared.
I didn't see the picture, but I can replace it.
So I will go and do that now.
All right.
So I'm going to take control from you.
Okay.
Now, Mary, I'm making you I'm giving you control now. So Mary, you have the floor. Let me see your work.
Okay, sir.
Let me see. Oh, go to the browser. Show it on the browser first. Let me see it. Can you hear me, Mary? I said, show me the output on the browser. Run your code. I want to see it on the browser. The prison network is not too good. And she used.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I said run it on the
I've done
browser.
that.
I'm not saying it.
Yes,
I can't say it.
I've done that. Maybe you're not seeing my screen.
I'm seeing code. I'm seeing your HTML. Now it went and off now.
I
Just
can't see.
share your entire screen.
I'm searching. I
Okay.
think she left.
Okay. Okay. She's gone. Okay. In the meantime, I want. Okay. Israel didn't do it, right? Israel, did you do it? Yes or no? Huh?
Yes, I did it, sir.
Okay. Let me give you control.
Yes, I did it.
Now you please share your screen. Our time is almost spent. We have just like
Okay, sir.
30 more minutes.
Can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, I can see
Sorry,
your
sir.
I can see your screen.
Screen.
Yeah, Miriam, I'll get back
My
to you now.
network.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
This was what I accomplished, sir.
This is far from what I showed you. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. The image, I tried to set the image in the appropriate way, but all my fault wasn't able to
Okay.
go through.
I understand. And that is why I'm teaching you FLEXBOX. You are still going to use FLEXBOX
Yes,
for
sir.
this because I use FLEXBOX for mine. It is much easier with FLEXBOX. I saw Mary using relative absolute. Yes,
Okay.
that can be done. That's fine. It can be done with that. Even I saw Demola also using relative and absolute. It can be done, yes, but it's not as easy as FLEXBOX. So
Yes, sir.
yes, I intended to explain this assignment, but I will still make it a challenge. I'm still going to leave it and make it a challenge,
Okay, sir.
right? So, but um, in addition to this assignment, I will give to this one. You are still going to work on this. Like I said, I'm going to make it a challenge. I want you
Yes, sir.
um to to practice what I demonstrated today using the flex, then the flex row,
Yes.
try to do justify content. That is the assignment I'm telling you now. I want you to practice with the justify content.
Okay.
With this,
Yes, sir.
try to achieve it with this menu. This C-cube logo, about service and contact. Right? So that is assignment. Just
Yes, sir.
this
Yes,
C-cube
sir.
logo, about service and contact. Try to use FLEXBOX to achieve that. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
That's the assignment.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
That is in
Yeah.
addition to this.
No, almost. You have to quickly add
I-
something, but
I'm not
I'm
going.
not true. Yes, should be when you should quickly add something.
Emmanuel, Emmanuel, mute yourself, please. So I'm not going to explain this as this particular assignment, yes, but I will. But I still want you to
Okay.
muzzle your brain a bit, exercise your brain, right? So now I'm going to take control
Yes,
out
sir.
away from you. I'm going to give Mary. I want to see what Mary did. Mary, you have the floor.
Yes, sir.
Share your entire screen.
Sir, can you see?
Okay, yes, I can see it now. First of all, move your cursor over about service and contact.
Okay. Can you please put this on?
Okay, okay, good. That's what I want to see.
Okay.
But okay, yes. Now, the color is not changing to white, so I want you to change that to white. Right? The color should also change to white. That is about service and contact. The font color should be white. Yes. At this, when you over your mouse over those menus, yes. Then
Okay.
now I want you to reduce the size of your viewports. Reduce the size. Aha. This is what I want to see. Now reduce further. Let me see. I want to see. Because already about services and contact they've disappeared. Okay, go on. Okay. The CQ the CQ the CQ has gone into the ocean. Thank you very much. So I want now the reason why I'm doing this is in the process I'm teaching you to make your page responsive, because
Yes, sir.
if you develop an app, your app will be used on different devices: mobile, iPad, tablet, desktop, laptop. Do you understand that? Even on the screen, on a very big screen, it should be it should be used. So, and as a result, your app should be responsive to these viewports. It should be responsive. It's not that the about service and contact will just disappear on a mobile phone. And the user will say, I use this app on my desktop. I could see about service and contact, but on my mobile, everything has disappeared. So, and that is the purpose of this FLEXBOX. So I want you to listen carefully on this FLEXBOX, please. And not just FLEXBOX. FLEXBOX and grid. The two, they work hand in hand. So I'm going to release you for today. And the assignment is that, okay, let me let me share my screen, because I can see that somebody's laptop is about to die now. So let me quickly share my screen. Now I want to minimize again. See me now, I'm minimizing. Okay. Now I want to reduce my screen. My about is still available. I can still see it. My CQ, I'm still seeing it. This my content, I'm still seeing it. It's not disappearing. That is the idea. It should be responsive. So I think this one now is the size of a mobile. This one. This should be the size of a mobile. And I can still see my content. Right? Aha. This is the size of a, I think, iPad. I can still see my content. I can see about service and that, and this one. And this one is a laptop, right? I can still see everything. Now, based on what I taught you today, just this, let me highlight it. This menu, I want you to use FLEXBOX to achieve this, right? Just use FLEXBOX to achieve that. And we talk about it in the next class, which is on Tuesday, right? Now I promise that I will explain this one, this menu, if you do not get it. But the whole project, this whole project, no, I will still not talk about it. I want to see what you can do after you have learned FLEXBOX, what you can do to achieve what I just did. So I repeat, the assignment is this. Use what I have taught you today on FLEXBOX to achieve this. Just this menu part. This menu part. That is the assignment. So while you are working on this, at the same time, work on your major assignment, which is this one. So Emmanuel, work on yours. Demola, okay, I've not given Demola. Or Demola, did you change anything apart from the one you showed me last week?
No, sir.
Okay, so I still want you to work on it, right? So try to achieve it. And please listen carefully on this FLEXBOX. So I used both grid and FLEXBOX for this. So you are still going to do it. Please listen carefully. Joshua, listen carefully. Review your recordings, please. All right. Thank you so much. So I will see you on Tuesday.
Sir, please, I have a question.
Okay, Emmanuel, question. Let me stop the recording to save
Okay.
to save the space. Pause recording.